Hi, we're Shannon and Jerry Arner,
and our dog, Betty White,
your hosts of the Arner Adventures podcast.
Could we have named it something more creative? Probably, but it's the name of our blog. It's our last name. We're on an adventure, yada, yada, yada. After owning our own business, working 24/7.
And don't forget a mental breakdown in between.
We made a lifestyle change and decided to make the most out of life.
We sold our house, most of our belongings, downsized, and moved to the coast.
We live life minimally, but fully.
We live each day as an adventure.
This show will help you learn how to live life more fully, with more intention, by experiencing more, and with less stuff.
We'll talk about our own experiences, interview others who have much to share by creating a spark in our lives.
Some days we'll share real-life ongoings of what we're going through, and others will talk about our favorite flavor of waffle.
Come join our adventure.
It's the Arner Adventures Podcast.
Hello, everyone. I'm Jerry.
And I'm Shannon.
Betty White is here with us, and we're back for episode 89 of the Arner Adventures Podcast.
We are getting so close to our 100th episode.
Yep.
And we've got big plans.
Big plans for that.
We don't know what it is yet, but we're going to have some big plans for the 100th episode.
You gotta go big for 100.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Well, we're so thankful that you're here. Before we get started, a couple things. First of all, the last episode, the sound was super pitchy. I don't know I do know what was going on. We had guests over and my mom, and we had moved the desk and kind of our office space that transfers to a guest room into another area. And we just didn't have sort of the sound buffers that we normally do. So this time I think we took care of it. The desk is back. So hopefully this one will sound much better now that we've worked out some new things.
I think it has to.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing is, on our last episode, and we know that a lot of our community are big supporters of our sweet little girl, Betty White. We mentioned on the last episode that we were waiting for some test results. And if you're on social media, you probably already saw, and we're not going to get into it too much because we're going to stay on the positive, and I don't want to get upset. And I think Betty, feels our vibes from that, is that unfortunately we got some not great results, that she has the big C. So we're not going to use that word. Actually, in our home, we say that Betty has allergies. It's her allergies. They're making her cough. So we are just planning adventures every single day. We are making every single day as wonderful and adventurous as they can be for her.
We are. And let's add to that, Betty had a great week.
She had a great week.
Acting like a puppy or like a puppy. Yeah.
It's almost like she thought that we needed the comfort or the pep. I don't know. But it has been a really great week for her.
Mm-hmm.
And we're just taking it day by day, and are just going to make her as comfortable as possible. And today is a good day.
Today is a good day to cap off a good week. So we're going to keep capping off the positive here, and we're going to get to the review of the week. This week's review comes to us from Kit P747. Kit says, Shannon and Jerry's podcast is like a breath of fresh coastal air. Mm-hmm. There's zest for life and a minimalist approach. I think I should say minimalistic approach.
That's how she wrote it. So minimalistic approach.
Yeah, minimalistic approach shines through every episode. You know you're in for a treat when Betty White's playful barks join the conversation. Just like today.
I know. I don't know if the microphone picked it up, but she did want to come in the room. We sort of had, again, with the noise proofing thing, we had made it where the door was cracked, and the diva she is didn't want to put any effort to push it. So I had to go let her in. That's okay. That's okay. We love this review so much, Kit. Thank you. If you'd like to support our podcast like Kit did, please leave a 5-star review or rating on the platform you're listening to us on. Or if you don't have the ability and you're maybe watching this on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, whatever way you can support us on there would be greatly appreciated. Anything that you do like that helps to serve us up to others who may enjoy content like ours. Let me give an example really quick.
Okay.
I was talking to someone here locally who kind of knew about our blog, but didn't like knows me outside of Arner Adventures, but hasn't known me very long.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, "Oh, you have a podcast. I didn't know that." And I was like, "Oh, yeah. How did you know?" He said, "Well, it came up in like another podcast I listened to that was similar to it." And I was like, "Oh my gosh."
Oh, that is neat.
Yeah, that whole algorithm thing
A
works.
great example.
Yes.
Yeah, that's wow.
So anyway, moving on.
Uh-huh.
Today's episode is about, surprise, surprise, minimalism and how to know if you're a minimalist.
I think this will come in pretty useful.
Mm-hmm.
Some people might go, I didn't know I was a minimalist, or I didn't know I was halfway there.
Right.
And that'll be just the push they need to get all the way there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So anyway, yeah, we thought this would be fun, and not to put labels on people, but we do get the questions sometimes from people asking what defines a minimalist and if they are one.
Yeah, we had we've had some guests on before who I have brought up the topic of minimalism, and they're like, no, I'm not a minimalist. And I was like, oh, okay, because when I sort of read about your lifestyle, it seems like you are. And so I think people have different perceptions of what minimalism is. I was talking to someone a couple of years ago who said they were a minimalist, but they really meant in architecture and decor. But he actually owned a lot of things. So what we're talking about is a minimalist lifestyle.
And the term might sound a little daunting to people.
Yeah.
They might actually sort of be that way, but they don't like the label. It's a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe they think in that way.
Yeah, it is. They might think that, but it is a lifestyle. There's no wrong ways of living a lifestyle, but our lives align with the characteristics of a minimalist. And so we thought we would go through some signs that may tell you that you're rocking some minimalist vibes.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to go ahead and start with the first one?
I do, and I really like these. So let's get it going here. Let's get it rocking here, I should say. You've mastered the art of packing. Oh, that's my favorite. Your suitcase for a week-long trip is lighter than most people's day bags. You never check luggage.
Well, that right there, we're a minimalist.
Oh, yeah.
We never, ever, ever take more than our carry-on. We never check our luggage. We just don't. You only want the things that you have to have if you're a minimalist. Like,
and you always find out when you get somewhere, it's like, I always end up with extra stuff even when I might have thought I wasn't packing enough.
Me too.
And you learn that little way to roll your shirts and stuff.
We haven't checked our luggage in years. And thanks a lot of that to the base luggage carry-on roller.
Right. Oh yeah.
Who we do love. They're not a sponsor of this podcast, but we do love them. I want to also point out the people for YouTube, just, we are drinking High Noons, not a sponsor of this podcast, but I did want to have a little break here to talk about that we're really excited because they're in North Carolina now, and they weren't for a long time. And they're like tequila seltzers, which is really refreshing and nice on a hot summer day we're recording this.
It's kind of fun. So yeah.
So if you see that peek in.
Well, wrapping that all up. Yes, I have not checked my luggage since the Clinton administration, which is saying something.
Okay.
Let's keep moving.
So you have space for yoga in every room. Or with that being said, you've got space in your living quarters. Whether you have a tiny home, whether you have a large home, you have space that if you wanted to practice a session of yoga, you could. You just get out a yoga mat and bust out a yoga pose or two at any given moment. Empty space is a good thing. You don't have to fill every single bit of space, whether it be counter space, floor space, wall space. Space is good.
Space is good. If I had grown up in a minimalist family, I probably would have had a Nerf hoop in every room. It would have been just a constant. I just thought of that. I used to love that, but I only ever had it in one room.
My brother used to have one, and I really liked it too.
Oh yeah, that was good fun.
Yeah. Well, you want to know the next one?
Yes, I do. Gifting experiences, not things. Your friends have come to expect concert tickets, cooking classes, and spa days as presents. Material gifts, So last decade.
They really are. I
Yeah,
think we have everyone trained in our life not to give us anything material.
right.
You know,
Yeah.
we're all about the experiences. We don't do gifts a lot in our family anyway. But if someone ever does give us a gift, we get something that's an experience. Like, you know, if we're gonna travel, they'll get us like tickets to an adventure type thing where we're traveling to, or something like that.
Yeah.
We really like, and we've talked about it. You've probably heard them as a sponsor of our podcast before, is like Sugar Wish. So if you just can't think of anything, you can send them a Sugar Wish, which is nice because they get to choose their gift. It's a consumable. So it's like candy or wine or snacks or dog treats or anything like
Mhm.
that. And then they get to choose it, and it just comes to their house. And so that's always nice because you know it's not going to be wasted.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and I don't know anybody who doesn't like Sugar Wish.
Right. Once they're
Mhm.
exposed to it.
Once they're exposed to it.
Yeah.
Mhm. It's a
Well,
great gift.
the next thing is quote unquote, just in case is not in your vocabulary. You're immune to the lure of buying things just in case. Your mantra may be, if it's not needed now, it's not needed at all.
That's a good mantra.
Right?
Mhm.
I think I sort of run off of, have I used it in the last 3 to 6 months? And if I haven't, I can go ahead and get rid of it because I don't need it.
Yeah, a lot of good things apply there.
But I do not do that
Mhm.
just in case stuff. I just
Just-
don't. I used
yeah.
to, but I don't anymore.
Mhm.
Get ready to set the perfect summer ambiance with Southern Oak Artisan, our trusted sponsor for this episode.
Southern Oak Artisan specializes in crafting 100% natural soy candles that not only enhance the aesthetics of your space, but also prioritize your health. These candles are made with non-toxic ingredients, ensuring a safe and enjoyable breathing experience. So say goodbye to overpowering scents.
With an array of delightful summer options like lime but no salt and their new Mayberries candle that is strawberry guava scented. OMG, you're going to be spoiled for choice when it comes to selecting your favorite scent.
What's even better is that Southern Oak Artisan's 100% natural soy candles are handmade right here in our home state of North Carolina. But don't worry, if you're not local, they ship all across the United States.
Ready to bring the captivating scents of Southern Oak Artisan into your home this summer? Head over to arneradventures.com/Southern Oak Artisan, where you can grab our exclusive discount code and link to save on your soy candle purchase.
That's arneradventures.com/Southern Oak Artisan. Make sure to check the show notes for easy access.
It's time to elevate your space with the essence of summer. And now let's dive back into the show.
That kind of made me think of the old 80-20 rule too, where you use 80, you use 20%,
Of your things or your clothes 80% of the
80%
time.
of the time. Yeah.
And the other 80% is just like closet clutter.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's a good thing to go by.
Mm-hmm.
Cleaning takes minutes, not hours.
Mm-hmm.
And you and I'm not saying you're skimping on anything. You're still cleaning good. After a minute, I throw the cloth down. I'll do it later. No, I'm saying cleaning. Yeah, it really, really does. I can remember times when we used to dust a lot because of allergies, and when before we thought about not having a lot of stuff laying around, you'd be dusting all these individual little things.
Yeah.
And I think I had a shot glass collection one time.
Oh God,
man,
you
had to
did.
go after all 36 of those, and
And those little Eiffel Towers and
we had some Eiffel Towers. Yeah. So anyway, tidying up is a breeze when you've just got what you need and not a lot of extras. Your cleaning playlist lasts longer than your cleaning sessions.
What I have noticed,
Mhm.
especially if you're not home and I'm cleaning just, I don't know, by myself, I will get my laptop and I will bring up a show that I am watching a series of. So I'm catching up right now on Better Call Saul.
Mhm.
And the last season I just never saw Better Call Saul. So anyway, I'm on the last season. So what I do is I've noticed I'll start an episode and play it, and I'll kind of move it around. Like if I'm cleaning the bathroom, I sit it kind of, on a stool outside the bathroom. If I'm cleaning the kitchen, I go over there, and I will be done cleaning the house by the time the episode is over.
Oh, wow,
That's speedy.
That is speedy.
Mm-hmm.
You're darn right. Wow.
Well, the next thing is the joy of empty surfaces. We talked about this a little bit with spaces, but your countertops and tables actually have empty spaces. It's a minimalist dream come true.
Oh, it sure is.
Just because there's a flat space does not mean you need to put something on top of it.
Yeah, right. Which I think people do kind of gravitate towards that. I got these countertops and something's got to
Let me
go
buy
on.
something to put on the countertop.
Put on the countertop. Yeah.
Oh, yay.
Oh, yeah. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
Retail therapy is a foreign concept. When you're down, shopping doesn't even cross your mind. You've got better ways to boost your mood.
Like taking a walk or decluttering. I mean, I've done that when I've been upset or down. I'm like, let me get a hold of this closet or this back room and get rid of some stuff or take a walk.
And listening to upbeat music.
Yeah.
Just
don't need to go shopping to feel better. It's sort of like eating or drinking alcohol. When you're upset, it's like you're trying to fill a void. It's the same thing with shopping.
You know? It definitely can be. It can become probably a little bit addictive for people, right? When they're upset, they think, I gotta shop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the next thing is your trash bin yawns because it's just so bored. Your weekly trash output is so minimal that your trash bin is considering a career in napping. I'll tell you, our trash bin is probably napping most of the time, but our recycling, that thing is exercise and busy. I would like to reduce it, not to reduce the recycling, but to me, I want to sort of analyze that a little bit more and say, what are we buying that we could switch of our daily routine that we could switch out and not have so much recycling? Because either way, it's waste, right? You know, sure, it's recycled and that's better, but it's still energy of having the recycling people come. And, you know, there's a million things you could get into, but I would like to see that reduced. But our recycling is picked up once every 2 weeks.
Once every 2 weeks.
And it is always full, like usually overflowing. We have some backup.
Yeah. Usually I take it to the street, and then when I bring it back, we have all this recycling that needs to be carried out.
Yeah. So I would like to take a look at that. But as a minimalist, your trash bin is probably pretty bored.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Envies our recycling bin.
It does.
Right. And this is mine.
Yeah.
Huh? Library card overflows. Your library card gets more action than your credit card. Who needs a room full of books when you can have a whole library at your fingertips?
We've talked about this before. We love a library.
Love the darn library.
Oh, I've read so many books this year because of the library.
Oh, yeah.
Books I would have never even thought about getting. But we just sort of go through, and I do often judge a book by its cover. I wish I didn't do that, but the cover is what draws me in to then read and see what it's going to be about. Now, sometimes that really backfires. I've taken a few books back where I couldn't get through the first chapter, but I've read a lot of books because of the library.
Yeah, me too. And I am pretty particular, but if I make it through the first third of the book, maybe, but I've been known to give up a few chapters in and go, this character, he's just not evolving into something I like. But even though I keep going back, I do like going to the library.
Yeah, library is pretty great. So definitely try out your local library if you haven't. If you don't have a library card, we encourage you to go get one. We think you'll be happy with it.
It's a whole world at your fingertips.
Yeah. Well, the next thing is that you are unfazed by trends. So we all fall victim to it. There's a new fancy gadget or something in fashion, and you're like, oh my God, I have to have this. And, you know, when you're a minimalist, you might have a plan as far as a way that, like, for example, I do fall victim to that stuff. I'm like, oh my gosh, I think I need that, or whatever new gadget, the new, you know, cell phone or new whatever. And then I sit on it. But we also have talked about this in our financial meeting episode. We talk about our expenses and what we're going to plan to spend. So I surely don't want to be the one who jams up our spending and is like, oh yeah, I really needed this new, you know, cell phone upgrade. No, I didn't. Or I needed this and new dress because it was really cool. And, you know, we and a minimalist considers things that are higher quality, evergreen, timeless. and we've talked about this before, is that one of the things that we do, and I just highly encourage people to do this because you could save so much money, is if you need new clothes or you want something that, I don't know, a light ring for social media content, go to Poshmark, go to eBay. There's people who buy that stuff and they either never use it or it's gently used, and you're saving so much money and you're keeping this stuff out of the landfill.
Oh yeah. That's just a win-win all the way across.
Yeah.
Friends visit and don't complain about clutter. Frees them up to complain about a world of other things. Your friends actually enjoy visiting because they don't have to navigate through a maze of stuff. Hosting is a breeze.
I think that most people with that, it's not that their friends even complain about it. They might to themselves.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
But I was also thinking, like, the part about hosting being a breeze, you don't have to do so much pre-clean, pre-prep before someone comes when you're a minimalist, because everything's already sort of taken care of.
That's true.
Like the things that we do is usually, clean, sanitize the bathroom, and the stuff we do once a week. If we find out someone is coming, we make sure we go ahead and take care of those things, just for sanitation reasons. Like, make sure the bathroom is clean, make sure that the dusting is up to date. But that's really it. Like, there's not a whole lot of things that we need to do.
Yeah.
But it used to be, we used to have more things to do to get ready. But yeah, I think that's a really nice thing about being a minimalist.
And then by the time your company got there, you'd have feelings of hostility towards them for all the extra work.
Resentment.
Now that's leveled off a little bit. I'm just kidding.
No, we've had visitors lately and they've been wonderful.
They have been. Yeah. We like having visitors.
Mm-hmm.
I think most of us do. This is yours.
I think the next one's mine.
It is yours.
And we're almost done.
Mm-hmm.
You are if you're a minimalist, a digital declutter pro. Your phone and computer are lean, mean, clutter-free machines. You're like a digital ninja slaying unnecessary files and apps.
Yeah.
So I know that using my phone, usually about once a month, definitely for traveling. For some reason, when I'm flying, I clean my phone like while I'm flying, because you can do it without having any service.
Yeah.
I just clean. I have my photos backed up. So then, when the cloud gets it, I go ahead and get them off my phone. Every Friday, this might make me a little nutty, but every Friday, it's on my Google Calendar. A Friday afternoon, it says clean laptop. And I go through and I delete all of the downloads I don't need. I go through any, I don't know, like any files on my computer, anything that I've downloaded or that I don't need. I clean my history, everything on Fridays. And it just makes me feel so good to have that done. I don't have things on my laptop. If it can be in the cloud, accessible in the cloud, I don't even download it to my laptop. Like, I don't even want it. It's the same thing with kind of paper. Like, we don't have paper files. We have it digitally and it's on our drive.
Well, yeah. And you're way better at that than I am, but I'm better at that because of you. I think I've taken your, your advice on that. And speaking of, I do have some stationery that says WWSD at the top. What would Shannon do? And I guess she would clean her phone on Friday. And oh
golly,
one of the things, because you've probably given a great influence on me as far as that goes. I do clean my phone more than I used to. I actually clean it too more than I used to. I try to.
I should be better about that.
Yeah, well, I've gotten away from it lately, but I did hear you should clean them about every day, though.
Yeah, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh.
Yeah. Well,
the last one.
Yeah. I felt like it didn't segue very well. Well, nature's your decorator. Plants and natural light are your go-to decor. Mother Nature's palette is the only one you need.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
When we think about little tchotchkes and things sitting around, we really don't have them. The things that are sitting around are plants and Southern Oak Artisan soy candles.
They are.
Because we do love our candles.
On a sunny day when you walk in our place, we do really have it it's just a feel-good place. A lot of plants and a lot of natural light comes in. That's why I said on a sunny day, it's nice and bright and a lot of plants.
Yeah,
and,
we do have a lot of great natural light. That's what I
Yeah.
loved about this house when we moved here.
Yeah, and I do it. It sets me in a good mood.
Well, there you have it. If you want to maybe take a fun quiz that we put together, it's sort of our minimalist litmus test, then head over to the show notes and there's a link for that. It's completely free. It's just a kind of a fun quiz that at the end, when you get your results, it tells you, on the scale, how much of a minimalist that you might be. It's or maybe you just present with minimalist tendencies and you just go through questions and score yourself at the end.
Yeah, that'll be neat, and it'll be encouraging too.
Yeah.
You'll say, hey, I'm halfway there. I'm going to keep going, man.
Yeah.
And there you have it, right? We hope that this helped you learn more about the minimalist lifestyle. Maybe you identify with some of these and are inspired to at least live with less stuff and experience more out of life than clutter.
Yeah. And if you want to jumpstart your decluttering, you can also hop on over to the website for our free 30-day declutter challenge. And that is also located in the show notes.
That's right. If this episode resonated with you, or if you know of someone who would benefit from anything we talked about today, or any episode, our guests, or anything, please share it with a friend. It's a great way of supporting the podcast and us, and we really appreciate it.
Another way of supporting the pod is by leaving us a 5-star review or rating on the platform you're listening to us on. Oh, and go ahead and hit that subscribe button because that also supports us. We would love that.
You can always find us, links we refer to during the show, and any of the podcast sponsors at arneradventures.com or linked here in these show notes. And until next time, enjoy that journey you're on. We're wishing you lots of adventures.
Adios.
Arrivederci.
Au revoir.
Adios.
Sayonara.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Dos vidaniana.